Hey guys, Tarek with CycloneFPV. Oops. And I think we're live actually. Sorry, I just got done drinking a post-workout shake and probably should have waited perfectly. Anyway, so we're sitting in my garage right now. As I've told you guys, I've been held off on doing any videos, pretty much any videos. I've been making them, I just haven't published them because we are moving here. So we're keeping the shop still, but I'm going to spend more time at home. And I got to tell y'all, and I won't get into it. I'm going to do I'm probably going to do a video here shortly, kind of explaining where the company's headed and what our plans are, some of the changes we're making. But mainly, I will tell you that I just want to be home more. It's great having a shop, and it's fun. It's fun watching people go out there and fly, but they don't need me to be there to fly. The place is open for them as long as we know that they're coming. But it takes time away from family. So I've decided to work from home when I can still, set my garage back up. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 workbenches right now. There'll be a total of, I think, 8 or 10 in here when we're done. Anyways, listen, I'm going to get to the point of the video. I'm just letting you know. So this is actually my first live video from here, and I'm sure things are going to get screwed up, but we're going to do it. So anyways, I've got some customers that ask to have their receivers downgraded before we ship them out. And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I do this here and how I test it. And then I also want to give a shout out to Ivan. Let me show you guys this real quick. So Ivan is Ivan Efimov. I guess I don't know how you guys know him as, but he's obviously a well-known person on the racing scene. Anyways, he's also a pretty damn good designer of canopies. And Ivan designed this for a frame that I'm working on, and the final product is right here. So I want to give a shout out to Ivan. He's probably one of the best designers for canopies I've ever come across. And anyway, so that's it. Ivan, shout out to you for being so awesome. Okay, so here we go. First one we're going to do is an RXSR. And this, as you can see from FrSky, it comes with version 2.1.x. So this gentleman would like it to be downgraded to pre 2.1. And I have that firmware already downloaded. So I'm going to show you how I do this, and then I'm going to show you how we test it. All right? So first thing we're going to need is we have a radio like our X9 Lite. And FrSky sends the download cable here. So here we go. I'm going to plug that in, and it's got that notch on it, so you're going to plug that into the bottom of your radio, especially like my X9 Lite right here. Go ahead and power this on real quick. Now I've already, like I said, I believe I've already downloaded the firmware for this. I'm going to hold the menu button down, go to page, page, go to my firmware, go to my FrSky RX firmware, and I think I have the RXSR, here it is. So RXSR ACCST, all right? So that's gonna be my firmware for the RXSR ACCST, so I'm gonna click that, and then I'm gonna use the FCC version right here. Now, it's one thing to downgrade, it's another thing where you need to test it, right? So it would mean nothing if I said, hey, I did it, and then I have no way of testing it. Where the hell did I put my radio? I'm gonna use my jumper. Let me find it real quick, because I put it down somewhere, and now, you know what, it's right here. Okay, so I don't use the FrSky to test it. I use the jumper to test it because I know the jumper cannot run the 2.0 versions, and I don't want to keep downgrading and upgrading my radio to test it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our RXSR right here. We're going to select that firmware. If you don't have that, you can download it from FrSky's website, and then we're just going to basically take our receiver, going to plug it in, right? We're going to hold down the button, and we're going to say flash the S port, and there it goes. So now you're going to see the receiver light blinking. It's under the sticker. Let me remove the sticker real quick. There you go. Okay, and it's going to sit there and say writing. So honestly, guys, there is a fee for this. To do this, I charge $5 a receiver, but there's a point of that too, is that I test it, and make sure it works, and I send it out to you. But I do these videos so that if you decide you want to do it yourself, here, this is how you do it yourself. So I'm going to put the instructions back in. Now, when I go to my TX16S here, all right, this is what I will use. I don't use this radio for anything else other than to test. Now, and I will use my Toolkit RC, okay? And I'll show you exactly how we're going to use that, because the next one that we're doing is I'm installing I'm installing an XM Plus inside a drone, but I have to downgrade it first. And I believe the customer who ordered that is the one who got me started with doing these downgrades anyway. This dude's pretty cool. And he asked me to do that, and now all of a sudden it became an option on our website. I'm going to shut that Radio Master down though. So let me do that real quickly. So, and let me also, on my computer, check a few things out, please. Hey, all right. We're still writing, so I'm giving this just a little bit longer. Okay, so it's done. And so what we're going to do here is now that it says flash is successful, we're going to click OK, exit, exit, exit. Now, here's how I want to test this. So I'm going to disconnect this cable. I'm going to turn my radio off. Now, you can test it any way you want, but like I said, I don't like to keep downgrading. So I'm going to take my plug now. I'm going to use my Toolkit RC. I'm going to plug this in just like that. Okay. Let me give it some power here. And I'll hold the bind button down while I power this on. All right, I've got my solid lights. There we go. Now I'll take my TX16S, power it up.
Welcome to TX.
And what I will do here is I will just go to my model. And I know I'm running the, obviously the 1 dot, I don't know, whatever version's on here before, the pre-2.x version. FrSky D16, I'm just gonna go to bind. And when I go to bind, I don't care if I check telemetry on or off. I care that that red light starts flashing, okay? Once that flashes, that means that the older firmware and the receiver are now working. I'll stop it from binding. Return, return, return. Okay, now if I wanted to actually see this working, I can turn this on. I've got my connection, and I'm pretty sure on here, oh, it's not touchscreen, I keep forgetting. I think that I can go here, but I cannot remember if this is, I don't think I have any, yeah, I don't think I have any channels mapped. I cannot remember if I have any, let me see if this is the right spot. Let me see here. Yeah, and so I don't know, I don't think I have any channels mapped, that's the problem of mine, is I don't have this radio mapped for any channels, but I know that normally I could come in here and I could be able to test this if I wanted to. Unfortunately, I didn't map any channels on my radio, but I do know that it's linked, so the green light's on there, so I'm set to go. I'll have to come back and actually map these channels so I can show you how this part works. Let me exit out of this. So that's one, and this RXSR is now ready to go. Okay, and we know that that bound, so that's good. So the next one is going to be the XM Plus. So let me put this RXSR away. I'm going to shut down my Radio Master, and we'll now go to the next one. So I'm going to bring my radio back out. Now this cable won't help for the XM Plus because the XM Plus does not have a plug on it. So let me show you what we're working with on this one. So on this one, let me move my Toolkit RC out of the way. So on the XM Plus, here's what we're working with right here. Okay. So on here, what we'll basically do is we'll take this, we'll peel this label off. All right. And I just found my wire. I'm going to find out where I put it. And let me put this stuff away real quick. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do this one. Because all this goes to one customer, and I want to make sure I don't. This particular setup goes to one customer. Make sure I don't lose it, because my wife will get pretty upset with me. So there we go. Let's drop that in there. All right. Now, where is my wires? Where are my wires for the next one? Here they are. Okay, so this is the next setup right here. And this is what we do for the XM Plus, right? So the way the XM Plus wiring goes is, first hole here is ground, middle one is positive, and top one is S-bus, okay? So what we're gonna do is, so that we can use these and not have them short out, you can go whichever direction, but you're gonna go one direction with the ground, then come back in the other direction with the positive, and then come back the third direction with the S-bus S-port cable. Now I had a little bit of solder on these so they don't sit in as good, all right? And then we're gonna plug it in just like we did the RXSR. Plug into that port there, turn the radio on,
Welcome
Alright.
to OpenTX.
And again,
Warning.
we're going to just go to our downloads. Whoops. Let me do that again. Downloads, RX. Right here's my XM Plus. And we're going to do the, okay, so the XM Plus 170313, that is the firmware that we're looking for. And we are just going to do the standard RSSI, the standard FCC right here. All right, so I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to flash the S port. And you're going to see here, if I can, I'll try to get it to move. It may not function. Let me turn this. I think it may go this way, actually. See if I can get you the light to show. There we go. So you can see the lights blinking, okay, and it's writing, so that's good to go. Then we're going to install it in this quad right here. So let me turn the soldering iron on. Before we install it, obviously we're going to test it with the TX16S. All right, we're done writing. So we're going to click OK, or exit, exit. Now I'm going to power this off. Okay, unplug that, put this radio aside. Turn off my Toolkit RC real quick. Plug it in. Hold down the bind button. Turn it on. Red and green are solid, that's bind mode. Bring up my TX16S.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Let's switch there. Okay. Then go back. Go back to our model. Go back to our binding. Remember, we've got the FrSky DX16 on there. There we go. And then we're just going to do 16 until I don't care which one we do. And you can see the red light blinking again. Okay, I think you can see that. Let me see if you can see that right there. Yep, that means we're bound. So then we can stop that. Return, return, return. And that means that now we have downgraded the receiver to pre 2.1. Okay, so at that point we can go ahead and power this off. And we are now done. So we'll just take our cable and set it aside for the next upgrade. And that's all there is to it, guys. It's a simple process to upgrade. If you have the cables and you have the software, it's up to you if you want to mess with it or not. But if you do, I hope that'll help you. As far as getting the software itself, you can get that anywhere online at the FrSky website, or if you need my help, just let me know. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and install it onto here. So I'm going to do that for you guys real quick. And bear with me a second here. And make sure I get everything set like I need to. All right, there we go. If there is any comments coming across, for some reason I can't see them right now, I apologize. So bear with me. Part of this has to do with the move. Keep my LinkedIn messages out of here. All right, now let's go ahead and cut this piece off. There we go. Okay. All right. Hey, I can see messages now. What's up, buddy? Peace. Thank you as well. Be safe, my friend. I finally see a message. I don't know why it wasn't coming through for a while, guys. I apologize. Like I said, I've been kind of out of the scene for a little bit. I mean, we've been doing work, but been trying to move a lot of stuff back to the house so we can be around the boys some more. All right, so if you look right here, though, and if this looks familiar to you guys, I mean, if it does, this is pretty much the HGLRC setup. But I believe R. Charlotte's was the one actually making most of the items. So this is identical. This is the R. Charlotte's brand, and I want to say that it was rebranded for HGLRC. I've never run that by HGLRC, but sure, these are identical. I mean, the flight controller, the ESC, the VTX, everything is pretty much identical. And R. Charlotte's is the one that was making it for a lot of companies and then screening somebody out. They're like the OEM manufacturers. All right, I had a set of wires here, and I guess I was cleaning up and threw them out, so I'll cut some extra wires. So, all right, for this job, we're going to need to do Let's take a red, a yellow, and a black wire, just like this. And we're gonna just wind them up, just like that. All right. Cut that there. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and tin these wires, strip the wires and tin the wires to fit and solder the board so we can get done with the work on the inside of the quad, and then we can just mount this to. We're going to mount the receiver to that plate right there on the outside. All right. So let's do 1, 2, and let's get this third one in here. There we go. All right, let's get our flux pen. And then let's get ready to tin it up. Okay. Now they had already have some solder on here. I'm just still going to put a little bit of my own on here. And it's weird. I've always wondered why they did this on this board when HCLRC did it, because they put the 5-volt on the right on the edge there, which usually would be the other way around. But hey, it is what it is. Okay. So I'm going to just make sure these wires aren't too long. I'm going to trim them back just a little bit. Especially the positive here. Let's take that one back just a little bit. There you go. All right. Now let me put my old man Magoo glasses on here so I can see what the heck I'm doing. And let's get the soldering, shall we? So we're going to go in order of S-bus so that we don't cross over during our solder. So we're going to do S-bus first. 1, ground next, 2, and we will do our 5-volt last. 3, all done. Perfect, looks great. Pleased with it. Now let me put this standoff back on. I realized it was coming off there. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to put our VTX back. Let's twist our cables back up. You know what? I just opened the silicone, so I'm going to go ahead and use it again right here. Okay, and then when you're done using it, this stuff is messy, but I love it. So when you're done using it, just pull back on the plunger there real quick, and there you go. All right, now that will dry and be perfect. Really secure those. Now let's go ahead and put these on. I can take these goofy glasses off, put my glasses back on. All right. There we go. Okay. Now we're still going to need this so that we can solder to the receiver. And I will tell you this other thing about this quad. It's actually, I sold one recently to a good customer of ours who loves it. Says it's awesome. However, I will tell you something I did on his. I'm going to do it on this one too. Is I actually brought the VTX antenna out this direction and I put the silicone over here because there's a lot of flex on this, and eventually it'll just pop right off. And so I don't want to see a broken broken a UFL, and I don't want to see the antenna come off while it's flying. So I actually bring this out the side, and you'll see when I'm done what I'm talking about, but for right now I have to let that silicone dry before I can do anything else. So I'm going to now bring the, let me get my receiver, because I'm going to use it on this front antenna here. So I'm going to bring the wires out right about here. Actually, you know what, I'll bring them out right here, right through that hole right there, okay? All right, now I cannot do much else with it because I have to zip tie it. So let me just strip these wires real quick, because you have to attach it on the outside or else you won't be able to fit it. So it's kind of a weird situation to be in, but let's go ahead and strip these, and we have to solder them and then heat shrink the entire receiver and then zip tie it to the top plate here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use the top plate as my little table there to do that with. Twist these up. All right, let's tin the board now. Okay. And then we can go ahead and now solder everything together, starting with the S-bus. There's one. I'm gonna put something on there to step on it. Load the 5-volt. Hey, step on it. Two. And then there's 3. Perfect. So twist these up. Just like that. Get some heat shrink. I guess we can use this one here. That. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these down, zip tie our antennas, and then wait for that silicone to dry, and then we will end up bringing that VTX antenna to here and zip tying it up. Now, I may not be able to show you that because I don't think this is gonna dry in time. Silicone takes a little while, but here we go. We'll get this part done for you at least. Let's get 2 zip ties for now. Some heat shrink. I'll use some black heat shrink, I guess. Okay. So we have the option, and I want to say that I did it like this last time. So let me just do this. And this. Okay, here we go. Just like that. Perfect. Yep, that gets us where we need to be. Now the silicone still has not dried for this, so I'm a little hesitant to do much else with this VTX antenna. So I'm going to give it some time, but eventually what's going to end up happening is that VTX, let me move this real quickly, the VTX antenna is going to, I'll have to put that back on. I think it actually popped up already. I need to leave this top off and let that VTX antenna dry, the silicone dry first. So let me go ahead and do that. But anyways, that VTX antenna will, once the silicone dries, it'll be zip tied right there, and then everything will be ready to go. So I won't keep you guys on for that because it takes about half an hour to 45 minutes for the silicone to dry properly. So I don't want to make that an issue, but let me just see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna put that back on there and we will be good to go. All right, anyways, so while I do that, guys, I will tell you guys that pretty much does it for this one. So that's the 2 grit downgrades of the XM Plus and the RXSR, and then installing the XM Plus onto this quad here. Very simple stuff, very easy to do. You guys can do it from your house. All you need is the downgrade cable, and that's it. And we sell that. We also have access to the firmware if you need. So that's it. Other way, you guys, please subscribe to our channel. You will start seeing more videos now that we're getting moved back here. So we'll be between here and the shop, depending on if we have the boys that week or that evening or not. Other than that, God bless, be safe. Most of all, go spend time with your family. You never know how much time you have left. Go make the most of it. You can always fly later, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.